Alright, so Notebooklm has been around for a while, and it's by far the most underrated AI tool that is out right now. And as a bonus, it's completely free. Now, the majority of people do not use this, and the people that do use it only use 10% of what it can actually do. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we use it, how we're able to sign more leads with it, how we're able to generate product demos, and so on. So let's get straight into it. Firstly, you need to start over here in notebooklm.google and press try Notebooklm. When you click in here, it's going to bring you to a brand new page over here in which you can create a new notebook. Now, as you can see, I have a couple of notebooks over here on this account, but if we go in here, you can see just how good this can be. So for example, over here, I have given Notebooklm Notebooklm access to my website and to some images. And on this side over here, it creates a product demo video for me, or just an explainer video teaching people how we help real estate agents with AI. So if I press play over here.
All right, if you're in real estate, you get it. The admin work
Let's speed it up a bit, actually. So let's do 2x.
is just relentless. It's constantly pulling you away from the thing you're actually great at, which is selling houses and closing deals. So today, we're gonna look at a way to get all of that off your plate for good. I mean, let's be honest, how many times have you asked yourself this? You're juggling a million things at once, and while you're stuck doing paperwork,
So you get the general idea. It's able to generate these videos for completely free without you doing much at all, and you can see the range of different things you can do up here, like create slideshows, create podcasts. So we're going to get straight into exactly how I do that. Firstly, I'm going to show you how we can create these product demo videos with Notebooklm. So you're going to come in here and press create new notebook. Now over here you can see it pops up to add in some sources. Now the good thing about Notebooklm and why it's better than just using ChatGPT or using Gemini is because whatever source I put in this section over here on the left hand side, you can see it says sources. We have the chat in the middle, and we have the studio over here in which we can create the videos. But the good thing about Notebooklm is it will only use whatever I put in the sources. If we go to ChatGPT or if we go to Gemini and we say create something or create a blog post, it's going to pull information from the whole internet, bring it into the blog post, and output it to you. Now within all of that, and when Gemini and OpenAI and all of these other AI models do that, they begin to hallucinate. But when you give Notebooklm all of the information and the only information that it can use, then there is no hallucination. So for example, over here in sources, you can add a bunch of different things. Firstly, we can upload files. So maybe I might upload a PDF. Secondly, we can come over here and we can upload videos. So we can add in any link in here. We can come over here to YouTube, and let's say over here on Notebooklm, I wanted to add in a bunch of these Alex Hormozi videos on how to get sales. So I'll come in here, I'll copy this link, bring it over to Notebooklm, and I can paste it in here. And when we press insert, you can see Notebooklm is taking in that full video, and I can now ask it a question about anything in that video. Maybe I can say, what is the best way to sign clients? And it's going to use that video only. So this video that I've put in, and it's going to answer with that question. So I can come over here and grab a bunch of videos. Let's grab a couple more. So I've added in another 2 videos from Alex Hormozi, and I can now come over here and ask it any question about sales. I can even come up here and select configure notebook and make the responses shorter. We can define the conversational goal and style. So is it default? Is it a learning guide? Is it custom? Where we can give it instructions on what type of conversation we want to have, and we can make the responses shorter. Let's make them shorter for the sake of this video, and let's come over here and say I run an AI agency and I want to know what I should be doing to sign clients in the next 2 weeks. It's going to take all of these videos over here and only these videos, and it's going to answer me with the best strategy to sign a client in the next 2 weeks. So you can see over here, to sign clients for your AI agency within 2 week time frame, you should focus on maximizing sales, maximizing your sales velocity, building immediate trust, and utilizing specific closing frameworks. Maximize sales velocity, it gives you all of the instructions on that. I can click in here and it's going to tell me which part of the video came from. So you can see when we go here, it tells us which video it came from, which is this free sales course from Alex Hormozi, and we have the information in which it used to get that. Now what if I was a visual learner and I didn't want to read or ask questions? I can come over here and I can press generate an audio overview. So I can just click it like here, and it's going to begin generating that audio overview. Or I can come up here and I can press the pencil. Now I can give it more definition of the style of video I want. So for us, we can choose explainer, which is going to be like a 6 to 8 minute video, or we can choose a brief video over here, which is going to be like a 2 minute video. Now we can choose a different style down here. So what type of video do we want? Do we want the visuals to be like a whiteboard? Do we want it to be like any of these? We can choose custom as well. Let's choose whiteboard. And in here, I'm going to say, focus on what I should be doing to sign a client for my AI agency in the next 2 weeks. We can press generate. And it's now going to generate that video for completely free for me. Now the video I showed you at the start of this was for my company. So you can see over here, and it's able to generate these videos basically being product explainers for my company. Now how did we do this? Well, over here we have sources again, and over here in the sources I can give it access. As you can see over here, we can give it access to websites. So what I've done in here is I've put in the link to my website, I've pressed insert, and now this Notebooklm is going to take in everything from my website and use it in the responses, or use it over here in whatever we want to create. We can also come up here and tell it to do some deep research. So you can see here, we can select fast research or deep research. And in here, it's going to do a bunch of research on the web and return back responses that we can use. So if I say fast research in here, and I can say AI for real estate agents and how they can use it. Now the reason why I don't use this too often is because it's kind of doing what we want to stay away from. If we come over here and we tell it to go randomly to the whole internet and pull back sources from there, as you can see over here, it gives me 7 sources, and these are all completely random sources in which it's going to use in the AI outputs. And that's kind of what we're trying to get away from. If we wanted to do this, then you could just go to Gemini and have it output random responses using everything from the internet. We don't really want to do that. Like if I go in here, it's a report like this in which I don't really know if it's legit, if it's trustworthy, and that's kind of what we're trying to stay away from. So over here is where I keep the sources of exactly what I'm trying to use. Now for these product demo videos that I showed you over here, I can use these on my website, I can use these for LinkedIn content, and that's kind of the first and best use case that I've used these for so far. Now a second use case in what you can also do is come over here and generate an audio overview. If I click in here, I can tell it what type of audio overview I want to generate. So we can select a deep dive, we can make it brief bite-sized content, we can make it a critique, we can make it a debate. Let's say I wanted a brief bite-sized content. I want to use this video to make it easier for real estate agents to know what we do and how we're able to help them with Work Ready AI. It's going to be used for my LinkedIn, so make it snappy, make the start of it a really good hook to make people want to stay around for longer, make it charismatic and not boring. We can put that in here, we can press generate, and now you can see over here on the right hand side, it's going to generate a podcast for me. Okay, so while we wait for this podcast to generate, let's come back over here to the Alex Hormozi one. We've given it, remember, these 3 videos over here, and it outputs this video of how we can actually sign a client.
You need to sign an AI client in 2 weeks? Okay, let's break down Alex Hormozi's playbook for that. The entire strategy really starts with one single number. And honestly, this changes everything. So what's with this number? It's pretty wild, actually. It's the key to your next 2 weeks. Yep, that's your odds of closing if you just respond in under a minute. Speed is everything. So we're going to focus on 2 sales multipliers.
Okay, so you get the general idea. It's able to output a video that we can use that could help us learn. But for me, the main benefit obviously is these videos over here, which we use for sales calls or for my website. So I can teach people exactly what we do. But you can see now the podcast is finished over here.
This is the brief on Work Ready AI. Okay, if you're a real estate agent, you know this feeling, right? That sinking feeling when you miss a huge call because you're already at a showing. Well, that's where Work Ready AI comes in. It's a platform that deploys AI agents to handle all that busy work. And we're talking about cutting your admin costs by up to 80%. First up, you get a new digital team. Meet Email Emily and Answer Adam. Seriously.
Okay, you get the general idea now. It's able to output these podcasts. Now, how can we use these podcasts? Obviously, for the videos, we can use them as product demos on our website. But what I've found a very, very useful way that I've never shared with anybody on how we can use these podcasts is by coming in here. Firstly, let's create a new workbook. And what I will do is create podcasts that has nothing to do with my business, just about AI and real estate, and I can use these to sign more clients, and I'll teach you how. So firstly, we're going to come out here and we are going to come in here and let it do a deep research. Type in here, do some deep research on AI in real estate, and specifically talk about maybe AI in tenant screening. Now when it outputs that podcast, I'll make sure it does the long form podcast, and I'll come over here to LinkedIn. Now over here on LinkedIn, I won't post it on my actual website. What I'll do is come up here to where it says for business, and I'll come into the group section. Now in this group section, I have created my own group, which is AI tips for real estate agents. In this group is where I'll post all of them audio previews or all of them podcasts. Now what happens over here is you get thousands of real estate agents joining this group because you're basically posting a full podcast for them in terms of AI and real estate. And loads of people join this, and I'll post maybe 4 or 5 podcasts. It's not salesy, it's not pushy, it's just them getting free value. And then on maybe the 5th post, I'll post something about our company, or maybe even an explainer video about Work Ready AI. And this is just constantly growing this group, and that's how I get thousands of free eyes from our direct ICP, the client that we're trying to sign. We can get thousands of their eyes on our product and then give them free value. Then do another sales video, and that's how you start to build an inbound lead flow. When you do smart things like this, where you build a whole community on LinkedIn or on Facebook groups, you give away free value, then you throw in one little sales post and people start coming towards you. That's a very useful way on how you can use both the audio podcast from Notebooklm and also the video, which works very well on LinkedIn also. So there's 2 crucial ways in which you can use Notebooklm. Now jumping back over here to the Alex Hormozi one, you can also do a range of different things, as you can see over here. Firstly, we can create a data table. Maybe if I wanted it to rank the best methods, so maybe say over here, rank the best methods for signing clients, I could press generate. Now obviously that's probably not the best use case, but what you could do over here is input a load of Google Sheets and lots of different documents and have it output a data table for whatever use case you can think of. We also have infographics over here, which is going to generate an image for us. So let's give this a go. Let's press concise, press generate. That's going to now generate an image for us, which is an infographic. We also have reports over here, so we can make it generate a blog post, a study guide. You have a briefing doc over here, which is very useful for after call. So after a call, you can get the call recording or the call transcript, bring it over here, add it into your source, and then make it create a briefing doc on what you are going to provide for this client, and it can do it in a matter of seconds. You also have operations strategy over here. This is really just the format that you want to use. A bunch of different things in which you can use over here for reports. So let's come over here and select a briefing doc, and let's just press generate. We also have mind maps, which is probably the most useless one over here. Can't really see anybody using this. It's not even worth showing you in this video. We have flashcards, which is not really useful either. We have quiz. Most of these are for learning, so like if you're doing education or if you're studying for an exam, then these will be useful for you. But that's the general idea. So if we come over here, you can see it outputs a data table like this, and we can just come over here, press export to sheets. You have sales concept method, you have ghost products, BAM farm, lead response time, and whatever. So it gives us outputs a full sheet that we can use. You can see over here we also have the report that outputs. We have high performance sales strategy and psychological conversion. This is always much more better than just your general OpenAI or ChatGPT responses, or even Gemini responses. It's a lot better. So you can see here it directly uses the sources that we give it from the video. And then for the infographic, you can see if we click in here, it outputs an infographic on them Alex Hormozi sales video. So you can see here the 100 million sales blueprint, volume negates luck, master high impact sales with speed, trust, and structure. And we have the 4 concepts of getting sales. So that's the general idea on how to use Notebooklm and how you can benefit from it. If you want to start your own AI automation agency and scale it to over 100k per month like I've done at my agency, then click the first link below.